Relentless. Crunchy.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to southern Sweden, to Idea Farm, where I am standing in the recording studio where yesterday I had a great day recording a bunch of lovely guys from Denmark, all live in the big room, and where tomorrow I start an album project with a bunch of lovely guys from Berlin. So yeah, it's really cool to be back in the studio. I've had quite a break from recording, I suppose. I've been doing a lot of building work and getting very burned out, really. But to be actually using the studio, this place that we've spent so long building, yeah, it's really cool. It's still a novelty to me to have this place, and I'm still exploring the room a bit, especially with drum sounds. I'm still waiting to speak to the artist from yesterday to ask if I can use a bit of the drum recordings we did at the end of this video, so I can show you what we got up to. But yeah, so this week I've basically been in the studio fixing a few last bits. So I thought this video I would show you what I've been up to. I think we're pretty much there. Like, there's not really anything major left to do, really, wiring wise or anything wise. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, let's go. So one thing I'm starting to remember about having studios is it takes a little while to kind of learn the space. It was certainly the case in Berlin, and yeah, the case in every other studio I've owned or worked in. You end up just figuring out where does stuff sound best, where does stuff work, and certainly in a space like this, when it's quite a big room, I'm really, more than ever before, I'm really in love with room mics in this space, because it adds this kind of this extra something, this extra glue, which somehow just makes it sound really, I don't know, really kind of luxurious. And I've also started remembering how in Berlin I would generally like to leave the studio set up. You know, up till now in this place, I've been kind of tidying up after each session because it just looks nice. Like it's such a nice big room, and yeah, I've been kind of clearing up. But I've started to remember now in Berlin, I would basically leave it set up, at least the drums. You know, it takes quite a while to set up drums and to, like, you know, set up all the mics and plug everything in and get all the preamps set up. So I think moving forward, I'm going to try and leave stuff set up as much as possible in here. And then you're sort of tweaking. It almost feels like you're kind of tweaking a recipe as you go along. Like, you know that the drums are going to sound good in this spot with these mics, and then it might not be exactly the right thing for whatever type of music you're recording, so then you can just tweak that, but you at least know you're starting in a really good place. So that's been very cool this week. I guess it's a sign that I'm starting to get my head around this place a bit more, and we do have quite a few bookings coming in, which is also very exciting. So yeah, hopefully this place will be getting busier and busier. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I've been up to this week. So the synth rack is finally plumbed in. Yeah, everything is connected down here now to this guy, which connects over to the computer over there. So yeah, I can play on the master keyboard here on this controller, which is nicely hidden underneath the desk. I can play on that and it will play any of these synths basically, and then there's a little patch bay here which connects to this patch bay, which has all of the line-ins on the desk and anything else on here which has a line-in. So yeah, any of these synths can now very easily be plugged into any of this stuff, played from there. It's pretty cool. It is really cool. You know, people talk about recording studios being an instrument in themselves, and I think that's what I find so fascinating about recording studios. It's about the connectivity. It's about how quickly can I connect this one thing to this other thing in this way, which somehow is going to fulfill my creative urge that I'm having at this moment. And just stuff like this, which is very tedious and very boring to to spend hours and hours making cables, soldering, running cables, squeezing cables through little gaps, and trying to make it all neat and tidy. It's therapeutic. I enjoy doing it, but yeah, it's a bit of a drag. But once it's all working, and right, I can just very quickly just do anything that comes to me, anything that anyone else wants to do. Like this can really now elevate. This can really elevate the creativity potential of this place. So that's very exciting. So I did that this week, sorted that out. That's up and running. Another thing I did this week was I finally got the tape machines all plumbed in. I had to solder all the connectors onto the loom on the back. And they still work, which I was kind of worried. I haven't used these for like 5 years or so, but they still work, and I will find some use for these for sure. It's very, very rare that I think people will want to do a session on tape, but for example, we could just record drums. This is an 8-track here, 1/2-inch 8-track. We could record drums through this and then into Pro Tools. Like, that would be a pretty easy thing to do, and it will just add something to the session. It'll make the drummer a bit more excited about the recording that he's doing, knowing that it's going onto tape. All of these things add up. All of these little emotional jigsaw pieces add up to become part of the overall recording. The Hammond organ, well, actually the Leslie, the Hammond is working miraculously. That is one day. This does need an overhaul one day, but it works. It's incredible. It's nearly 70 years old and it works great. The Leslie amp I was having problems with, but that's finally fixed and sounding incredible. Cost me quite a lot of money. It's basically all new tubes, all new capacitors, everything's replaced basically on the amp, but it sounds absolutely glorious. So that's working too. The beginning of the week I spent mainly on the Rhodes. I knew that the album that we're doing this week needed the Rhodes to be in good shape, so I finished off all the stuff that I didn't get to last time when I replaced all the key bushings and all that stuff. So this week I did the hammer tips and I did the damper felts, and I spent quite a long time on the voicing, like just setting up the voicing so that it's kind of as responsive as possible. It's still not perfect, but it is very playable now, whereas before it just wasn't, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good feeling, like I said, I've been kind of feeling on the edge of burnout for quite a while, just doing all the kind of still building stuff, still making stuff, and just trying to get everything finished in time. But spending the week in the studio, even though part of me was thinking, man, I just need to get out of here completely for a few days, just spending the week pottering around in the studio doing these last few bits, it somehow has felt like a holiday, and it's just great. I just love recording. It's just really, it's a really magical thing. So yeah, if you want to record, give me a buzz. This place sounds totally fantastic. Right, I'll see you guys next week for another video. The band that I'm recording this week, they're also going to play a little kind of gig in our restaurant next Friday when we do pizzas. When I'll be making the pizzas, the band will be playing. So if you're in the area, come and have a pizza and listen to these they're brilliant, like jazz musicians. So yeah, maybe see you next Friday. Until then, look after each other, lots of love, and yeah, goodbye.